A lot of people feel like when you have like a will or a trust, it's automatic that you pass on your assets, like your farm, the balances that you have in your bank accounts, that you automatically pass it on to your children, right? A lot of people feel like that's the step that you should take. But unfortunately, so thanks for tuning in today. We're working hard out here. We got the lining down. I had to actually triple this lining because I don't want any weeds to come through. And we made a decision to go ahead and put our raised beds in this middle row right here. And what I'm going to end up doing is also adding, we got 2 beds so far, right? So we're going to add 2 more to this area. So it should be a total of about 4 raised beds. And they're good size. What we're doing right now, let me show you. Dad is adding some sticks to the lower part of the raised bed prior to us adding soil. Cost of soil was $8. So now what we're doing is saving up on the amount of soil by adding some good old-fashioned sticks to the bottom of both of our raised beds. So not only can you add sticks, of course, to the bottom for weed suppression and to save on the amount of soil, but you can also add cardboard too. But we have plenty of like wood here, like lots of wood. So we have a little burn pile that's in the back there, and we're collecting the wood from the burn pile just to add inside of the raised beds. So let me add this next one over here while Dad is working on setting this one up. Had some green beans start breaking through. When they get to a good length, we'll add our trellis. We haven't done a trellis in here yet. So this will be our first time creating a trellis system. But either way, it's going to be beautiful. I can't wait until everything starts growing like it's supposed to. Going little bit by little bit each day. Got my last one to add. So Dad, how are you doing your stick arrangements?
Well, I'm gonna put the small one down first. Then I'm gonna put the large one on top of the small one to compress it. Then I'll put the topsoil over there and smooth it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we'll be good to go.
Good to go. So I'm just adding the soil to the top. Dad already put the sticks in. So you start adding soil in the middle. And then basically work your way out. see how tall it is? Because we already had added the sticks down in there. That's the same thing I did for the strawberry bed, if you remember. Okay. Need one more, Dad?
Yeah, one more. We'll be through this one.
Good and tall.
It smells so good on it.
Smell like manure, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Some strong soil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, looks good. Okay, that's awesome. Woo. Woo, woo, woo. So we got 4 more raised beds to put together, and man, it's coming along. So Dad is going to do his part. We got did I give you a Phillips head screwdriver, Dad?
Yeah. How you feel sitting lower than I am today? You always want to bring that up.
I always bring that up.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. I be wanting you to be taller than me, but now I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Guess what we wanted to talk about today while we're sitting here trying to get some of these raised beds put in the other 4. We want to talk about the last video that we did in regards to raw land, and then we mentioned the steps you need to take once you already purchase it. I think the number 1 step we said is the part about making sure you have a trust. And it was a lot of conversation in that particular video. And the topic that I want to approach is something that's really kind of like sensitive. A lot of people feel like when you have like a will or a trust, it's automatic that you pass on your assets, like your farm, the balances that you have in your bank accounts, that you automatically pass it on to your children, right? A lot of people feel like that's the step that you should take. But unfortunately, in some families, when you have children that don't listen, that do not have an interest in the farm, and it's, immediately after you pass away, they'll end up selling it for pennies. You cannot turn that farm over to that person or any of those children. So the whole idea of legacy and generational wealth is, if you do have people within your bloodline that is not prepared for that, and no matter how much you try to teach them, they don't listen. No matter how much you try to tell them the importance of legacy and generational wealth, and they don't listen, they can't apply it, it's just something in them that it just will not click, you cannot pass on those type of assets to them. You have to find, if you don't have it in your children, then you have to find a different line in the family tree. Maybe like a niece, a nephew, or a cousin, or something like that. But you have to be very, very careful about who you select to put inside of your trust in your will, because you want to make sure that things are secure and in the right hands if something happens to you. What you think, Dad?
Well, at the age of 73 years old, I know you're talking about the children. I'm talking about the grown people.
I said children, but like if you have grown children, grown children.
Because I have ran across families that have grown people that they left a dynasty in the family, and they turned around and messed it up. They messed it up on drugs, women, men are giving money to people that they don't know. They don't have no foundation about business. They don't have no foundation about real estate. They don't have no foundation about accounting. They can't look into the future. They have a hard time when you talk about the future. They don't look into the future. If they see, like, say we had 200 acres of land out here, and they'll come out here and say, I don't know what to do with all this land right here. And they'll turn around and sell it for a little nothing. You know, might got 50,000, 100,000. Then here come a big corporation and bought it from them, and they couldn't find out it's worth 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah, definitely be careful of the people that say, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'll just sell it, you know? And say that they do somewhere along the line, because, you know, we are not a big advocate of, oh, you just got to hold on to like the real estate. But we are advocates of real estate go with real estate. So, for instance, if you have children and you're in one part of the country, one part of the United States, and your children are over in another part. Like, for instance, if we're here in Georgia and then, you know, we have a child that's over in Tennessee or something like that, right? If it's too much to handle, of course, we would expect that person for the right price, because you sell high, right? And you buy low. So we would expect our person that we're passing on our farm to, if they can't manage it here in Georgia, they sell this at a high price, and then they go and buy land. Like, for instance, I said Tennessee as an example, and they buy land in Tennessee for the low. So yeah, land goes with land, real estate goes with real estate. We don't want anyone that's a part of our trust to go ahead and buy a car with the real estate.
Yeah.
You know, that's a depreciable asset, right? Why would you take something that appreciates and buy a car with it, or something that breaks down? So that's our level of expectation. We don't believe that you have to just keep it. What we do believe in is that real estate goes with real estate. So you sell this high and then you buy something else for the low that is of equal amount of acreage or more.
Yeah.
That's what we believe in. So
you know, I talk to the young generation all the time about investments, about real estate, and a vast majority saying that I don't know what I'm talking about, you know. Although I got a degree in construction management, I know how to draw plans, I know how to read plans, I know how to deal with lawyers, I know how to deal with anybody in the real estate market. I know how to deal with architecture, engineers, surveyors, inspectors, you know, the whole 9 yards, you know. I'm like a developer. I'm over the architecture, engineer, the whole spectrum, you know. And you got these young people telling me I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think sometimes they can't get past Dad's accent, and they want to sit there and put a label on him because he doesn't speak all formal, you know, or he doesn't, you know, sound like how they would think someone with a college degree would sound. And then Dad talks in absolutes sometimes, and they don't want to like engage in the conversation with him without emotion and just kind of like really have a good conversation for understanding. So there's some people that unfortunately some young people can't hear past Dad's accent.
I think what it is that
or maybe it's because you're a dark-skinned man, Dad.
well, you know, a whole lot of people don't like to listen to dark-skinned people anyhow, you know.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I think what it is, I think they don't have no foundation. Because I take them same individuals, then I take them to a group of people, and I say, now, you explain to the man what we're going to do today. You know, explain to him. We on the job. I say, since you can't understand what I'm talking about, we're going to a job. I want you to tell Mr. Such and such what we plan on doing. I'm saying, because you say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me see if you know what you're talking about, you know. Let me see what you know what you're talking about. And they can't do it, you know.
So the good thing to do is to watch for the ones that listen, that respect you, you know, that respect you as a legacy person that's going to pass on wealth. If they don't have any respect for you, then they're not going to keep your dream alive. Like why would you even pass on anything to a person that does not care for you, does not respect you? And sometimes you find that in your children, right? Sometimes you find that in the people that you want the most to inherit your wealth.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, when it comes to the way things are set up, and I've seen this before, you just got to move in silence when it comes to it. You better not let them know they're not a part of the will or they're not a part of the trust, but you move in silence, you know?
Okay, another thing, when it comes down to family meetings, I'm talking about family meetings. Family meetings are very, very important when it comes down to business. You know, if family meetings don't mean no girlfriend, you know what I'm saying?
Or them wives sometimes.
And family meetings don't mean no wives and husbands unless they got something in the pot. You know, family meeting is strictly for family members only. Other people have tried to break in the spouse, the wife or the boyfriend, but further down around about 4 or 5 years down the road, here comes a big divorce. So they got to get their money out of that family circle, you know, and that's a headache right there. So it's best for the husband to tell the wife, hey, my family got a meeting. I got to go and see what it's all about, you know. Let her, you know, let her deal with her family, you know, or let him deal with his family. Because if you don't do it that way, then that spouse, the husband or wife, you have a legal situation, and only people that really make money off them legal situations are lawyers, you know, and you don't want that to happen. So be very, very careful of the addicts.
And when he says addicts, he means not just the one that's to inherit, like your child, but also your child's spouse, the people that they have a partnership with, and the people that they surround themselves with, who they seek advice from. If they have people within their circle that are addicts, like, and when we say addicts, it's alcohol addiction, drug addiction, gambling, anything that causes that person to be sex addiction, anything that causes that person to be in debt and not understand how capitalism works, how the flow of money works. If they have no understanding of that because of whatever addiction, they're going to drain your heir of all their money. And because that person looks up to them, of course, you know, they're going to be susceptible to whatever manipulation comes along with having that person in their lives. So you have to be very careful of not just your child's addiction, if they have one, but who they have as people in their immediate circle that has addiction. So
and don't forget the ministers.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Don't forget the ministers. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen some dreadful things.
I got some ministers in the family, boy. They found out you got some money, boy. They'll tell you you know, I got an express ticket to help them for you. You know. Don't forget people that you marry, and they figure they have, every time you turn around, they have a negative. I'm talking about dark skin. What they do to me, try to do to me. A dark skinned black man that they could get something for free, you know. And once they could get their finance, they gone. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have to be. People have hidden agendas. That's what I'm saying, and you got to be aware of the hidden agendas, because you want that your legacy, your financial legacy, to go forward for the future generation. Land is going to be the most important element into the future.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's really what we wanted to approach, because we already talked about like assets, you know, making sure you have a trust for your assets, and especially if you have a farm that you're trying to pass on, or any kind of like real estate, you know, make sure that you have it passed on to the right people. And sometimes, like we said, you may not have that in your children. For whatever reason, they didn't take on your mindset or your moral foundation or how you view the world. And if they have like low self-esteem or they have distractions, they'll sell your land for like pennies and end up giving it to people that don't care nothing about them.
And start off how they're young.
You have to start teaching
I'm
them
saying
stuff
start while they're young, you know.
because when it's too late, it's too late. Like I know a friend that has a trust, and her son is grown, and every time he gets in her face, and I don't know what is going on, but every time he gets in her face, he's always talking bad about black women. And I'm like, you know, I hope you're not going to pass anything on to him, because the first thing, if he has self-hatred and he doesn't like his mom and he's so quick to talk about black women really, really bad in front of her, then he's not going to respect anything that she gives him. Anything that she's doing for him, period, he's not respectful of. So she better not, in her right mind, she better have an option. And she does have nieces and nephews that come out and they help her and they learn from her, they enjoy her and they love her. And I told her personally, you might want to consider them as an option. You don't have to tell your son that. But he's grown and he's talking to his mom any kind of way. So if you have a vision and you know that someone that's supposed to be in line to accept that vision, if they can't do it, they just can't do it. Don't pressure that person to do something that they don't want to do. So always have an option. Yeah. So anyway, y'all, we're getting back to putting these raised beds together. We just want to touch on that topic while we're working. And we have, Dad is going to put 2 together, and I, of course, I'm going to put 2 together also. So we're working on it right now, and we'll show you how it's going to look when we put it in the back there. We got it done. We're getting ready to go inside. We have the cage area at and set them up properly. Got our extra raised beds finally completed, y'all. They're finally done. Took forever, Dad, but we got it done. We can space them later on. Whew. Let me show you how it looks.
Yeah, do something with this.
We can do something with that, Dad. Okay, we just gotta space them so that we can walk, Dad, because we need to walk in between. Just like how we had that one down there. Yeah. You need to be able to walk in between each one.
Okay, we'll space them.
We'll space them, okay? So, Dad, we got that out the way.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Oh, yeah, it's coming on real, real beautiful.
It looks real nice. So, remember to always like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.